Welcome back. It's Sports Talk here on Atlantic Television Network and Harry Kutako.
It's a beautiful day. Good morning, Mr. Siri.
Let's get started. Start from the local scene where the Senate Committee on Sports has backed a proposal to increase the 2026 budget of the National Institute of Sports from 2.8 billion to about 60 billion. This looks like a wild figure, but is this commensurate with what you expect from the National Institute of Sports?
I think that the essence is to increase or enhance the state-of-art infrastructures, some of the training facilities and all that. Initially, 2 days ago when they appeared before the House of Rep committee, it was voted at that level and they discussed. But then Senate felt that the 2.8 may not be enough to cater for the needs, because if you look at the way Philip Shaibu, the director in charge of the National Institute of Sports, was really complaining, and then the reforms that they have put into, to engineer the environment and to ensure that we have proper training facilities. You just know that 2.8 as aligned by the NLC may not be enough to cater for that project. So the best is give an upward review, of that budget to 60 million. With 60 billion, that's 60 billion now. I'm sure that a lot will be achieved with that one.
Talking about 60 billion, what is it expected for? 60 billion, the whooping nearly 50 billion increase. But if you look at the fact that training facilities and infrastructure to be used by this National Institute of Sports to train sportsmen and women, coaches and administrators alike have been completely lacking, then it looks like 60 billion is a storm in the teacup, if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you look at the exchange rate of getting some of these equipment, it's really high. That's why even when a lot of persons said, commented that 2.8 billion cannot get us, cannot change the state of art infrastructure that we desire, at that arena. So the best is to do an overhaul. There are moribund, decayed, it's a decayed environment. It's not been good at all. And we saw how Shaibu was lamenting last year. I'm not sad at all. I feel that is what is needed. But it's like a budget. It's only when the funds are available that these things can be enhanced.
We're talking about the National Institute of Sports under the former Deputy Governor of Edo State. Will you want to rate his performances in the last few months where he's been at the saddle?
Yeah, I think that he's done very well in terms of policy formulation. Yes, we're here to see.
We've seen the first batch of coaches being trained by the institute as well.
Yes, we've seen that, and I think that for the way he's going about his policy, he's the one man who his track record has shown that he has a way of implementing policies. So he works with the National Sports Commission to see that place is moving. We've seen some records sometimes that shows that activities are ongoing. One thing first has done is to stabilize the administrative machinery of the Institute of Sports, which is a good one. So that stands now in the area of payment of salaries and ensuring that the machinery is functional. That is key. Every other thing, I'm sure it will come as time progresses. Then there are policies, there are reforms that have been initiated to help. I'm sure that the moment funding comes in, gradually, if you look at the 21 and then 22.003 that was posted by American Rogers, it tells you that just a matter of time, at 32, it's just a matter of time that he will get to maybe to that level. But it's been difficult, to challenge Roger. But I'm happy that he's always 2 days ago we talked about him, how he was able to bridge in the gap, 25th in that particular one, that lineup. Now in the grade, he has shown that he can go one more step. So steady. When there was consistency, he has shown that he's consistent, and gradually he has posted 20, he has posted 21. Now he has posted 21 and added some meters to it. So I'm thinking that he can even go further, to challenge him for the big guys.
Well, we look forward to more excellent performances coming from Nekuche in shot put globally. Meanwhile, all the Nokosi Bro will spearhead the nation's 4-man contingent to the 2026 African Junior Fencing Championship taking place in Dakar, Senegal. He said Fedu is, of course, getting underway in the next 4 days or so from now. And the grandson of late Professor Dora Quinley, former Director General of the NAFDAC agency, has already etched his name in history as Nigeria's first global fencing medalist at the silver after winning silver at the Tono Satellite Cup way back in 2024. Echo, fencing is not a very popular sport here in Nigeria, but we're having excellent performances coming from Veli.
Yeah, for Nkosi Brown, he has shown that I think he's one of the top 5 fencers we have in Africa. He's shown that at his age level he can do so well. That's we saw him. Yes, we saw him displayed and came third in the African Junior Championship. And of course, when you know that you have top names in Nigeria, fencing, like I said, is a new sport that is gaining momentum. But then the fact that we have this young lad who have shown prominence at the local and international level is one thing that makes a lot of person feel that when you have him with the blend of a double seat, and the two double seat brothers, that will really help in moving Nigeria forward because they're going to participate in team and individual events.
Well, we say congratulations to Bro, and of course hope that we'll have more from the young lad, 18 years of age, and doing the country very, very proud. We'll bring you our last story just before we go on break for this edition of the program. And Team Nigeria has been handed a Fiesta World Group.
They lost,
They dropped from Group 1 to Group 2.
Group 2. So you see, it means that they want to do their best. But before, when they play home, advantage naturally sets in. But I do not think that will stop the Nigerians. If the guys display what they display against, we are very optimistic of what will happen that day.
Talking about what will happen in the next few months from now, and Echo, venue has it anything to do with it? This match between Morocco and Nigeria comes up in Rabat, and a lot of people, like you mentioned, often want to look at rivalry in sports between Nigeria and Morocco, especially when the fixture is in Morocco.
Yes, it does a whole lot. Nigeria played at home in Lagos, and so it gives Nigeria a strong advantage.
There could be no Anthony Joshua fights in the nearest future. Aftermath of that devastating car crash that led to the death of 2 of Anthony Joshua's friends, and of course professional adversary training partners. Do you foresee Anthony Joshua getting back to the gym and en route to the ring again at the height of boxing? A lot of people have said that he's devastated. Yes, no doubt. He lost 2 of his very close training partners, and because of that, he may not get back again. But you were aware just before that crash and that incident that led to the death, he was almost getting very ready, to return back to winning ways again after losing 2 or 3 consecutive bouts at heavyweight level.
I think that a lot of news report has been emanating from the quarters of matchroom boxing in recent time, and if a microphone is placed before you, we do not talk. Otherwise, I would have felt that they keep mute a little, because the end has been talk one today, tomorrow talks another, and these reports are coming to us from one angle. Anthony Joshua, after some time, went to the gym to nobody. This is just barely 2 months that the incident happened to him. The emotions are still strong. You cannot tell what happened from now till 8 months time. You cannot tell what happened from now till 1 year time. At this point in time, everything is still fresh in his memory. And I don't think that nobody will go through this. It's even yet to formally bury, the disease from just trigger him in the next 1 year. I'll see Anthony Joshua thinking of coming back to the boxing arena. So for now, let's agree with Eddie Hearn that yes, because of the heightened emotions around the death of his friends, maybe he has decided not to come back. But I still do not doubt the possibility in the next 1 year.
Nigerian British boxer Anthony Joshua, not too sure when he will return back to the ring there, and of course his promoter as well, making it a little bit confusing for the public as well when and if Anthony Joshua will return to the ring. Time for us to take a break. When we return for a break, there were more exciting sporting stories for you, especially in football, where Arsenal has dropped points last night and is looking like Man City is been given some kind of a motivation to fight back. Beyond that, across Spain, at the Copa del Rey, FC Barcelona was taught a football lesson last night. When we return from the break, we'll see how Atletico Madrid demolish FC Barcelona. All of this and many more We just want to return for a break. Stay with us. Welcome back. It's Sports Talk here on Atlantic Television Network. And earlier on, we told you how the National Institute of Sport will benefit from a budgetary allocation of 60 billion naira if it is passed by 2026. Meanwhile, Apple is still here, and together we will bring you up to speed with the latest happening across the world of sports. Time for us to look at football now, and we'll start from the local scene. While Shooting Stars of Ibadan will continue their performances at the local league, the Premier League, with a home fixture this weekend. Ebo, the Oluyole Warriors are up. They've been having issues trying to move from one venue to the other, but it looks like they are returning to the MK Abiola Stadium this weekend.
Yes, and I think that it's good that they get to play there. A lot is happening in the league.
They're supposed to be playing at the Lagos Salami Stadium in Ibadan.
Yes, but because of the issues around the team and then some of the sanctions, I'm thinking that...
I understand it has to do more with television rights.
They don't have a very good environment to showcase what the league board desired, and part of the thinking is if we don't have it, then we go to a better stadium where we can show this particular one, because the visibility of the league is a maximum priority for the MPFL board. So I'm thinking that that is in that light that this has been taken, and it's good for them. I mean, it's still in the southeast, southwest. So let's see how they can cope with it.
What is it about Shooting Stars of Ibadan? They're a traditional football name here in Nigeria. You remember them long time, over 40 years now. And they don't seem to get to continental places. They don't, right now they're placed 7th on the league table, and that will not guarantee you any continental appearance. Shooting Stars of Ibadan should return to the continent. I think last time they were at the continent was way back in 1975 or 1976 or so. We haven't seen the Shooting Stars get to the continent.
I think part of the reason is because they've had a little bit of instability. The Shooting Stars that we know back then that has a lot of good quality players displaying one of Nigeria's topmost club and displaying the southwest isn't the same at all. We got some quality players, but that could not be seen. This season they've been struggling, getting some losses even at home. You don't lose maximum games at home when you want to compete strongly, for a place at the continent. So I think these are part of the challenge that has engulfed them. It is not the culture isn't the same as what we used to see in the 80s, and that's been the difference. If you have a culture that is built on strong administrative etiquette, it becomes easier for you to challenge for these trophies and or challenge for it. Consistently challenge for wins, because if you don't win your games at home, first off, it becomes difficult for you to go away and even get those points, and then logistics plan for the team. All these are part of the reasons why they've not been strongly competing, among other teams in the league.
Shooting Stars of Ibadan placed 7th, and of course they're not in the position now to go to the
with the club. So the best is maybe the Bravadasin come, leave out your contract, and let's see if you can pull a deal elsewhere, so that you can now be in charge of the negotiation with the incoming club. So, but all of this doesn't make sense to me, because you don't leave a club that you are professionally. I think that it's necessary for him to have a stayed maybe and see how far, but then maybe he's just tired of the South African League, just maybe.
Well, this piece of news will not be too good for Africa. Just in Nigerian in charge of there's Nigerian Football Federation in charge, of course, the stadium and the facilities across. CAF, the football governing body in Africa, has sent a team of technical experts to inspect 3 co-hosts of the 2027 African Cup of Nations: Nigeria, of course, Tanzania, Uganda, and Kenya. But they are as well expected to look at facilities competition. Morocco, Ethiopia, and of course a joint bid between South Africa and Botswana. They want to host the 2028 African Cup of Nations. Epo, do you think joint bids will see the light of the day?
It has its own difficulty, okay, because teams will now be moving from one end to the other, but it's all about preparation. What matters is if CAF thinks that joint bids can go to, if we have seen before, Ghana, Nigeria, it all depends on how far this can be achieved. But for me, I think that Morocco should also take a cheap. But then you cannot always move them, because they have a state of art facility. They can always fill in the gap for CAF where there are challenges. Because as stands, let's say CAF is not even sure of Kenya and
Kenya and all Tanzania, others that will have come together to host. So I think that the best is because they're always going to they have the state of art facility. They always want to host everything in camp, and you cannot rule them out because they are planning for World Cup and they need those facilities to be fit. History shows that in the last previous times Arsenal has come second. Arsenal had opportunity of winning the league. And when you have a Manchester City side that can chase you down your throat, you have to be very careful. The pressure naturally will just set in. But the good thing about what Arsenal did yesterday was at least to get the point. This is only the second time that in fact, Brentford have only lost twice this season at home. So teams that have always come, they are having
trashed. That means that they took Arsenal the best of luck. They missed a whole lot of opportunity in that encounter, and then Arsenal too were missing some of their key players. So you see, Arsenal made like 4 changes in the team that won last weekend. So Arsenal can be very unpredictable because they struggle to get the points. Forget that the City is chasing them. Arsenal still have the destiny of winning the league in their hands. The only thing is that the euphoria of being followed by City, who started very poorly this season. That's why a lot of people are thinking and then antecedent. But if Arsenal goes on 4 points wins you, 1 point wins you the league. So it doesn't matter. 12 points from now, 12 games from now, all you need to do consistently win your games. Arsenal in the last 5 years have shown that they can win. I think in the last 5 years when they were chasing this title, they have won 10 of their games in one of those years. So Arsenal can decide to say, we want to win all the games. Draw against City, win all your games, you still win the league. So the pressure is there, but Arteta has come out yesterday in his post-match briefing to say that the boys are more focused than ever to winning the league, for Arsenal. It doesn't matter how far. Everything can still happen. Arsenal will also cancel the result with City. So all those permutations and chances are clear. But one thing is clear is that Arsenal has the advantage in their hands, and if they go on to win their games and then even lose against City, they still stand the chance of winning the league. All of this
you consider, but not 4 goals in 45 minutes.
Yes. 4 goals in 45 minutes, something drastic, just happened. I think that the guys were better. They played at home at the Wanda Metropolitano, and then the Ademola syndrome is gradually engulfing the side.
Yeah, talking about Ademola Lookman reminds me, he was on the side for Atletico Madrid. Of course, he just signed for the club side. This is their second game, and he scored yet another goal. Last night, he was on the score sheet as well as assist. Ademola Lookman showing why he left Atalanta for Spain.
It's a lot of persons will not be surprised because what he did at the African Confederation and what he's done with the Atlanta side he's known for this type of game, and I think that Diego Simeone knew Atletico Madrid on their way to winning the league last season, and I think that they've not met in at this stage for a very long time. So I'm sure that the second leg will tell more, but then this is an outstanding result going to such second leg.
Return leg fixture comes up, I think, on the 3rd of March, and winner of this one will look at the encounter will it be Real Sociedad or the other team in the final for this Copa del Rey. This is a very prestigious tournament in Spain, and I'm sure FC Barcelona will do everything. But according to the coach of the side, Hans Flick, he said his team was taught football lesson by Atletico Madrid. Of course, Diego Simeone as the head coach for Atletico Madrid there. Well, talking about football, of course, he has his fame, and of course, sometimes gets underway today, and attention will be on Hull City versus Chelsea. Can Chelsea send out the championship side?
This is a cup competition. Difficult to really predict. Look at what is happening in the
Copa del Rey.
Yeah, Copa del Rey, and what is happening in cup competitions these days. You have to be at the very best. So let's see what Liam Rossino will do with the Chelsea side, but they stand advantage because of that pedigree to win against Hull City.
Hull City, its former coach is Rossino. He's going back to his former side. I understand he's bought 20 tickets already for his family that will come in to watch that encounter. What memory will this bring for Chelsea new coach?
It's a lot. Where you share for years with players and
gets it to the next stage of the completion. Questions gets it to the next stage of the completion. Questions like